You'll have to bear with me today. This is the first time I've done a live with both Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So I've got two phones that I'm going to be watching at the same time. I'm going to wait for a few people to join. If you've got any questions or anything throughout, just ask and I will get baking these delicious cheesy mini muffin frittatas. I'm going to have a little look for a few people to join. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by putting the oven on. I'll put that on 170 fan. Okay, so I sent all the ingredients and stuff already. Hopefully you've sliced your onions. So I've sliced my onions ready and my bacon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fry them off to start because these need to be cool before they go in. I've got a helper here as well. I got my husband Ben. He's going to help move the camera around if no one can see. Okay. So I'm just going to heat the oil a little bit. And I'm going to fry my bacon and the onions and garlic. You don't have to use these flavours. This is just something that I like. You can use ham instead of bacon or leave it out altogether. I like the freshness of this, so I add spinach and peas as well. So I'm just going to wait for the heat to come to this, and I'm just going to cook these until they're softened and then leave them cool. So I'm just going to let you know, I've come on here today to help with Dragon Cheese. They have launched their big cheese. So what we need you to do is bake some goodies with their Dragon Cheese. I'll show you a selection of mine in a minute. And tag the big cheese in your creations, and you've got a chance to win 2 KitchenAid mixers. So I've got a KitchenAid mixer here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'll show you in a sec. It's this exact one. It's a slate grey. So you should tag them in your bakes, and there'll be 2 lucky winners. Here. I'm not sure how many of you are baking along today, or just watching, or just feel free to make this again another day. Just going to turn this heat up a tiny bit. So I've mentioned about splitting, about dividing the eggs already. So what I've done, I've split the eggs. I've got a bowl of the whites, and I've got a bowl of the yolks, because with a normal frittata, you just sort of put it all in the same dish and grill it or oven it. But I find that's a little bit more dense. So these are so light. They are just so light and so delicious. I don't know what the weather's like with all of you today, but it's been raining really heavy here today. Okay. I'm not going to fry this too much. I don't want the bacon going hard or crispy or anything. I'm just going to add a little bit of colour and to soften the onions. If you've got any questions, you can ask. I'll try my best to answer them as I'm going, or while these are cooking, I'll answer them then for you. I tell you, today I've decided to use Dragon's Vintage Cheddar with leek. This is so flavoursome. It's full of just, well, it's just salty, it's leaky, strong, it's lovely. I think that's one of my favourite cheeses that they do. They've got everyday range, which is your vintage cheddars, your matures, your miles. And then they've got a handcrafted range, which, well, the salty one is my favourite. Okay. It smells so good. So what I'm going to do now, while the onions are nice and soft, the bacon has browned a little bit but not too much, so I'm going to turn off the heat, and then what I do then, so just like that, and I'm going to add the spinach because it'll just wilt a tiny bit. I don't want to cook it, I'm just going to pop it in there. So the heat of the pan will just slowly wilt that, and I'm going to add the peas in the same time. And then I'm going to just leave that set. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to pop it to one side for it to cool down. I think my little dog has joined me here today. I'm just going to move this, just so I can move the mixer across. Okay, so while that mixture is cooling, I'm going to pull my mixer across. And what we're going to do today, because we want these frittatas to be nice and light, I'm going to whisk a lot of air into the whites. So make sure your bowl is really clean. So I have put a little bit of vinegar in there and given it a good wipe around, because if you use your mixer for buttercream and things like that, like I do, it sometimes leaves a greasy residue. So we'll take that off to make sure these whip up. So I'm just going to pour my whites in. And then I'm going to mix them on slow until they're like soft peaks. So I'm going to mix that slowly. And while that's mixing there, I'm going to get my little muffin cases ready. So these ones today, I'm using the tulip ones. So I like these, they have a lot of filling in. You can use the normal ones if you want. So I put 12 in here at the moment, but depend on your size of the eggs. I said large eggs. I mean, we use our own chicken eggs, so sometimes they come out big, sometimes they're smaller. So I always get ready for 12, and then if we need to make less, if it doesn't make much, I just pull a couple off. So I'm going to put that to one side as well. So while that is mixing there, I'm just going to get my little spoon. There's no need to whisk these or anything, you just break the yolks up enough. Like that, and then they'll be ready to go in with the eggs. No, Hi Neris. My sister says she loves how nosy my dog is. She's hanging around by the door. She doesn't want to go out. She's just nosy. She can smell food in here. Okay. Has anybody got any questions? This might be a little bit loud. You could turn it down. But feel free to ask anything. If it's about dragon cheese, about anything, this recipe, anything to do with cheese, just ask. Hi everyone. I'm Michelle from Lisa and Sophie. Hi. Thank you for joining. There's also a little comment box at the bottom. I can see there's a little comment now. I'm just going to turn this down so I can hear. Just going to read what it says. Do you prefer sweet or savoury food like this? It depends. I mean, today it's such a gloomy day that these are just so light and so tasty. I love savoury food, but I've also been out to the garden and we've had quite a bit of wind damage, so the rhubarb had come off, so I've made a quick crumble today. And then I topped it with some nutty crumble, but I like both. Priya, hi Priya. She's asking my favourite cheese. So, I love cheddar. This is the one I'm making today. It's got leeks. It's just super tasty. But this one that they do is also my favourite. So Dragon Do, the handcrafted one, and it's got Hallimon salt in it, and that is delicious. we love cheese now, so we slice it up and put it on crackers and stuff all the time. And we have that cheese we're talking about earlier, is it in the US? I don't think it is. I'll have to check with them. It's a Welsh company, so they stock in, you know, places around here, big shops and things. So I can check. It'd be good if they did, because it's so good. Okay, so as that's whisking a sec, I'm going to, I put my little strainer on there. I'm just going to turn this down a sec. And I'm going to pour this into my strainer. This is my mixture, it's just cooling. So I'm just going to make sure that I haven't got any bits of fat or anything like that. Or any, you know, any watery bits or anything. So I'm just going to put that through here. And then on top of it, I'm going to crumble the cheese. So I can see I've got like a bit wet. So that'll all come through. But we need this mixture to be nice and close. This is when I put the cheese through. So I'm going to put it on like that. I've got the cheddar here ready, so I've got 100 grams here and 30 grams here. So the 100 grams are going to go in the muffins, inside the little mini muffin frittata. So I'm just going to crumble that. This is so good. You haven't got a grater or anything, you can just put like that. I put little bigger chunks in, smaller chunks. And I don't have to mix this through yet, because I'm just going to gently put it through the egg whites. Okay. So while that's in there now as well, I'm going to put some dry herbs. You can use fresh herbs if you want. I mean, this is so flavoursome because you've got the taste of the garlic, the bacon. I've used smoky bacon, so it tastes even better. And the flavour of the cheese and stuff. You can use their normal cheddar if you want, but I just find this one extra nice. I'm going to add some salt and pepper as well. It's not going to fall to the holes because I've got the spinach at the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to put that aside to put on them in a sec. So with the egg whites, I'm looking for soft peak, which is where it's at now. Hi Ran, let me have a little look. Which herbs did you use? I just used mixed dry herbs for this one. You can use anything. I like to use, well, anything we've got in the garden. So I find that chives is nice in this, anything like that. So I'm just going to show you this. This is nice soft peaks. You can see on my little thing, little whisk. So I don't want to knock too much air out of this now. I'm just going to move this back. So I'm going to show you what I tend to do with like a folding technique. So I can see it's all in the bowl like that. So what I tend to do with the yolks, I just make sure they're not stuck. And then I will just tip them all around the outside of the bowl. And then get my little spatula. Let me show you. Like that. And then I'm going to get my spatula and just turn it gently through. So I'm going to go through the middle. So cut through the middle. It's quite hard to show you and do it at the same time. So I'm going to go round the outside and just cut through the middle. So you haven't got to worry about mixing it together too much. Because obviously I'm going to put these through now as well. So I'm making sure I've got no wet in the bottom there. And then I'm going to gently put this down the side. That. And then do the same with this. So I'm just going to fold that through. You don't want to knock the air out because that's what keeps it nice and light. So if you just look here now, you can see I've got quite a lot of egg whites in the yellow. So I just cut through the middle and then go around underneath the bottom. And round like that. So you can see the spinach has stayed nice and whole. The peas would be nice. They add a nice well, it's just a touch of freshness this time of year. So I'm not going to mix it around too much because I'm going to distribute this evenly in the muffin tin. Okay. So what I tend to do now, I tend to start with 6 and make them nice and full. And what I tend to do, if you look in the bowl, I've got it like that. So you can see I've got quite a lot of white still there. So what I usually do is just take a big spoon like that and just drop it in there. It's so light and airy, so I just drop it in there like that and just push it down gently, not taking too much air out. So I tend to go round like that. This way you get quite a nice bit of spinach and you can see all the green. I try and just poke it down a tiny bit. These are perfect for picnics or with your dinner, as a packed lunch. They're so good. I don't know if many of you make frittatas and things like that, but we eat a lot of that as a family. Just keep on putting these in. So I've gone with that many so far, and then I go back up and fill them up. Live baking is always quite hard, isn't it? It's either the kids running around or it's the dog. So I'm just carrying on with this, look. You can see I've got nice nuggets of cheese, and because I've kept some of them quite whole, I'll put them there. So it's always good to do this nice and slow so you don't knock the air out. So I'm just scooping up like that, look, and just dropping it gently. When I did these for Dragon the other day, I added those little onion crispy bits. They were so tasty. But don't put them on now if you do, because they will just burn. So what I tend to do is make these nice and full. So I'm going back over these. So I've put the oven on for 170. These will cook now for about 15-20 minutes. You want them to be nice and golden, but nice and light still. So I've just got, I think I've got enough for one more here. Just a bit of spinach and bacon in that one. Yeah, so that's me done. So I've got all of them in there now. I'm going to take that last one off. So I fill them quite full like that, look. And then I'm going to add my remaining cheese. So the little bit I left, I've got 30 grams. I'm just going to crumble that gently in the top. So a couple of bits like that. And then they'll go straight in the oven then. And what's nice, the cheese on top just melts slightly. And it's just so tasty. So I'm just popping them on there like that. Okay. So they're ready. So they're nice and full. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. I'm going to pop them in. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to check them then. I'm just going to give my hands a little wash, and then I'll have a look at your questions. Okay, has anybody got any questions? Let's have a look. Let me see if I get a little bit closer look. Rice back, delicious recipe, simple to cook. Yeah, it's totally simple. I make these all the time. My son takes them to school in a packed lunch. If I just open one and show you, they are so light, you wouldn't believe. I think frittata, I find myself, it can be quite heavy. So because obviously it's just a lot more denser. I mean, this is so light, look, when you pull them apart, even some sticks to the paper. But you can see they're just so light. Let me just pull it off. They're just so light, they're so tasty. Like I said, you can add anything you want. I like this flavour, this is my favourite quiche recipe, so I always put bacon, garlic, onion and stuff like that. So that's why I chose these flavours today. Do you grow your own herbs too? Yes, I do. We've got a big herb garden and it's full of everything. We've got garlic chives, I'm trying to think what else, thyme, basil, mint. We've got loads of stuff. Hi, lovely. Hi, Rach. Jules, I buy their cheese when I'm in Malaysia. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they went all the way over there. What's your favourite one, Jules? beauty. Hi, Phil. Looking good. How long do they keep? Priya, they're really good. Your boys would love these. I mean, they could take them to school in the lunchbox. I always think they're quite, because they're quite light, they're good for a few days, just to keep them in the fridge. But I've actually frozen some. And say like today I've made a batch, well I've got 11 today and I've got a couple of spares here. But I'll freeze these. I'll keep some for the next couple of days and I'll pop the rest in the freezer and they defrost really well. Just leave them out, room temperature, and they come back just like this. But if you're going to add anything like the onion bits or anything, I wouldn't put that on to freeze them because they're perfect this way. Not food related, but where is your top from? This is from ASOS. I think my husband bought it for me. I think it's really pretty because it's got little hats on the elbows. So I think it's just really sweet. It's just a casual top, and if I'm not in dungarees, I'm in something like this. Are the same as you. That's really good because I love, like I said, there's these ones. I can see the Julia's message, so I'm just showing you these. So this one, these ones are kept in slate cavern, so I just love this. They slice so well and they crumble really good. This one has got smoked flavour. That's really nice. This is my husband's favourite. It's got Penderyn whiskey in it. So it's really nice. I mean, we have them with a bit of chutney and things like that. They're great on their own or to bake with, cook with. I've done a few recipes for Dragon. So if you have a look on their website, you can see some little things on there. And if you bake anything within a minute, you make sure you tag them because I don't know how many entries there have been so far, but to win a KitchenAid would be absolutely amazing. There's two. Do you make your muffin liners? Oh gosh, no, I didn't. Do you know what? I had this conversation with Priya not long ago when we did another live for a muffin, a sweet muffin. They're so easy to make. You just, obviously you cut a little square. I know that quite a few of my followers, and I know Auntie Cake Bakes has made hers, but they're just square. So then you just pop it in the muffin tin. You can just pop your cup in and then it folds into the shape, but I haven't got the time. And to be fair, I bought these off Amazon and I had a pack of 50 for about £8. So they're just so easy. They come in the white, the brown and another colour. They're brilliant. Best hot or cold? I like them straight out of the oven, but I mean, they're perfect cold. You don't need to warm them up or anything. They're just nice on the side. You'll have to give them a go. When we can finally meet, can we have cheese night? Oh, I haven't seen my family for ages. It's been so hard. I mean, I know a lot of my followers aren't from Wales, but I mean, the rules have been a lot more different here, and my sister is pregnant, so she had to tell us during lockdown, so it's been quite hard not to see her. My parents live about 40 minutes away, so I haven't seen them either, and it's been so hard. So definitely Neris, my little sister, when you can travel down, we'll definitely have cheese night. We'll get through some of these cheese. Oh, I love a KitchenAid. 100%. Anybody who bakes, just do it. Use the hashtag, the big cheese, and you're in with a chance to win. I definitely would. They are great. I mean, I swear by KitchenAid. They're the mixers that I've been using for a long time, and they're a great colour. They're slate grey. Sent a request to be... Oh, someone has sent a request to be my live feed. Maybe not. Not today. Just in case. I'm not very good on Facebook to know if there's any messages. I can see if there's people watching, but I can't tell if there's any messages this one. On Instagram, they come up straight in the screen. So I just want to say hi to the Facebook watchers as well. What else have you been baking? How's your sourdough starter going? Priya, my sourdough starter is kept in the fridge. It's fine. I haven't made much of it lately, to be fair. I've just been so busy making a lot of sweet stuff. But it's great. I mean, I just refresh it. So anybody who makes sourdough, I keep the starter in the fridge and then I bring it out and refresh it and make things, well, anything. I've done stuff with discard, so I've made waffles, brownies. I make a lot of things. Hi, Stefan. I saw your little video today, Priya, of your little cupcakes. They looked amazing. How cute are the boys? Okay, I'm doing it now. Well done. Definitely have a go. You know, you don't have to follow this recipe. You can just use any dragon cheese and tag them, and see. Fingers crossed that you'll win. How do you feel about mini pancakes? Imran, I had to giggle the other day. Imran, another fellow baker and amazing cook that I know, he shared a little photo of a tiny little pancake on his Instagram, and I messaged him saying, oh my gosh, you're not on the mini pancake trend as well, are you? And he said, what, is that a thing? So I sent him a picture and he was so shocked. But no, I haven't got the time, Imran, to stand there making tiny little muffin, mini little pancakes. No, big ones for me. Pretty cute, but everything takes 4 times as long. Yes, I totally get it. But I do think baking with kids is just so much. Best cake master. Oh, hi Farrell. Everything with kids does take a lot longer, definitely. But I mean, when the Alfie's age, I mean, he knows now how to make normal stuff. So if you teach your kids young, which I think is so important, just with basic skills, it's perfect. And well, now you've seen my little pictures on Instagram, and I've been sharing Alfie's creation. So he's had to make chocolate ice cream. He had the Tunnock, there was a little Tunnock tea cake challenge. He had to make it look as if it was like a 5-star restaurant, and he wanted to do it by himself, and he was amazing. And what I was really touched about, everybody knows how much I love edible flowers and that we grow so many of our own. He went out to the garden and picked his own and added them on. So good. Oh my gosh, Priya hasn't even seen. Priya, they're like mini pancakes this size. And somebody has also stood at the stove making little pancakes that big, and then you just serve them in a bowl. Look at my dog. My little dog is just back and forth here. She's expecting something from the treat cupboard. And have a little look at my little muffins. Oh, they're looking good. They're rising well. Let me have a little look. That's good advice. I couldn't cook when I left home. I've started with Ava and Charlie ready. Yeah, I mean, gosh, cooking with kids is just brilliant. I mean, even just make little toasties or to make anything. I mean, Alfie's been doing his own poached eggs this week, and I just think I like doing a lot of stuff in the kitchen, but I think it's even more special when you see the things that you've taught them that they do all the time. I think it's great. It's the first time I've been on this Facebook Live, and I can't see any comments, so maybe people aren't commenting or they might be lost, but I'll have a little look later just in case. Owain wants an ice cream cake for his birthday. Any tips? Do you mean like ice cream in between like a cookie, or do you mean an ice cream between a sponge? Something like that? I'll wait to see what you say. Ice cream is so easy to make. Alfie did a recipe, a chocolate one, with a no churn, and it was just condensed milk, double cream, and it was whipped, and he put some cocoa powder in it. He used chunks of brownie and little bits like that, chocolate sauce, and it was brilliant. So if you make it like that, maybe if you're like on about like a big one, maybe make it in a round 8-inch tin, make a couple, and then stack them on top of each other with maybe shortbread in the middle or something like that, if that's what you mean. Made of ice cream. Yeah, it'd be so good, Rach, get him to help you to do that. He can choose anything. We use chunks of brownies, you can put caramel sauce in, you can do loads of stuff. I can see Alfie's future wife will thank you one day. She definitely will. I think it's good. I mean, I've been brought up like on a small holding on a farm that my mum did all the cooking always, and I can remember like maybe once that my dad actually cooked a meal, but it was really good Sunday lunch. But I mean, growing up on a farm, my mum and dad were always outside doing jobs, and then my dad would stay out and my mum would come in and cook. And then, well, actually Rachel will vouch for that, when they were away or something, we just chuck everything in the deep fat fryer. Oh my gosh, and stay up till 6 a.m. to watch the sheep. They Those are the best memories. Oh, funny. I'm gonna have a little sip of my tea. I'm loving your questions. Feel free to ask anything. Rosie. My little dog is going crazy here. What's everyone up to? What's the weather like where you are? It's been awful. If you check out my little stories on Dragon Wales' Instagram page, I took over their Instagram today, sorry, and oh my gosh, we had to pick the garlic because it needed harvesting. It's been so wet. I've made a crumble, like I said, I made a little crumble with the rhubarb bits that had been blown over in the wind. But check out their stories. I've had fun doing that today. Cold and drizzly in Essex. Oh gosh, sunny and warm in Colorado. Wow, it's funny. I think it's mad how many followers I've got from different. Hi from America. Do you have a favourite brownie recipe? Oh yes, I love brownies. On my stories, actually last night, I did ideas for a picnic. For a Welsh TV programme, and I used my salted caramel brownie recipe. It's so good. I've shared it with a couple of people. I get random requests for help with bakes, and I'm always happy to help. So if you ever want anything, just let me know. Raining in Tenby, Jules, I know. Cloudy in London. Gosh, what happened to the nice weather? It was so lovely. Cloudy in London. Oh. Oh, I miss my family. I can see Caerfyrddin, Carmarthen coming up. It's been a long time since I've been there. Thank you. Auntie Cake Bake says my salted caramel brownies look amazing. They are so good. They are so gooey in the middle. They're lovely. I wonder how many of you are going to try. I can see that everyone on here obviously likes to bake, so I'm hoping many of you will try this competition. It'd be so nice to get one of my followers to win. That game pie looked gorgeous. Planning to try it when I get back. Oh yes, it's so good. It's so nice. And I mean, like I said, well, on the video, you haven't got to use those meats. I used gammon, chicken, sausage meat, but I think it was nice. It was the twist on the old-fashioned gala pork pie. So I just think it's so nice when you slice a pie, you've got a little bit of egg running through the whole thing. Hot and sunny in Maryland, USA. Wow. Gosh, you've got all the nice weather there. Oops, maybe look at this. You look excellent from the Baking Bobby. Okay, they're not quite ready. I can see they're still. I think it's nice when they're a little bit wobbly. I'm just going to put them on for another 5 minutes. But I'm going to keep an eye on them. I quite like them that they're still very soft, but you can cook them a little bit longer if you want. Are you working on any sort of cookbook? No, not at the minute. I'm loving sharing my recipes with everybody. I'm just slow at adding to highlights. I mean, I bake something and then somebody says, oh, can I have the recipe? And I usually private message, because sometimes I write recipes down on a little scrappy piece of paper as I'm making. And I think when you bake, it's all trial and error. So not all the recipes I do work, but I would love a cookbook one day. That would be amazing. Are you going to do a cookbook? Would love the recipe for your tea loaf. On my tea loaf, that's the Welsh Barra Brief. I put a little video of that up on my Instagram. That is so tasty. I know that a few of my followers have made that. I will send you the recipe. If you send me a message after this, I will send it to you. It looked lush. I did a little video for that on IGTV, and I think it's cool just to, I don't know, just to watch. If you watch the process, I mean, my tea loaf, you soak the fruit overnight in tea and they all plump up, and the fruits are so good in it. And I add cranberries and stuff with a bit of honey, so good. have you ever made a beer loaf? No, I never made a beer loaf. I've done other stuff. I've done Guinness cupcakes and stuff like that. I don't know, because obviously my son's 15, I tend to make things that he likes. So he likes normal sourdough, or he likes things with walnuts in. I've done Stilton and walnut loaves, but not one with beer. I'll have to try. Oh, someone says my sound isn't working. Can everyone else hear me? I hope so. Otherwise, I've just been talking like this for ages. Yes, cool. Thank you. I'm going to keep an eye on these. You haven't got to worry so much about opening the oven with this. It's not like making a cake. So you'll notice that obviously these have gone down slightly. So obviously the egg is just really high when they first come out, and they just drop a tiny bit, but they're still so very light. We can hear you. Good. I can see your mouth moving, but no sound. Maybe it's the volume button on the side, because everyone else can hear me. I can hear you. Good. Are you checking them for a wobble? No, Priya. I think, do you know with a quiche? So I always bring my quiche out when they've got a little wobble in the centre. But these, like I've shown you, they're so light. I mean, you could squeeze these and they just come back to shape. They're so light. So no, I'm not checking for wobble. I'm just sort of checking that they're not, you know, going too brown or they're feeling firm. So they'll probably be ready in a sec. Yep, they're ready. Let me just show you. I'm going to bring them out. You'll notice that they deflate a tiny bit when they come out, but don't worry, that's normal. Oh, look at these. Well, you can see the little bit irregular in shape. I didn't obviously measure them. But you can see they're going to be too hot for me to lift up now, but you can see they're just so light. They're just so light. I'm going to pull them out of here now because I'm not going to want to leave them in the tray so they don't cook any further in the bottom. So I'm just going to pull them out. They're going to just deflate slightly, but not much. I would love it if you give these a go. If you do, tag me in your bakes and make sure you tag Dragon Wales and the big cheese hashtag. Oh, they're really hot. Okay, so I can put them on there like that. Leave my oven open. So there they are. My cheesy mini muffin frittatas. I hope you give them a go. They are so good. And if not, just give this cheese a try. Anybody got any questions? I see my little dog behind me still. Do you want to see? Think she can smell the muffins? What are you doing? If it's not children, it's animals. Looks great. Thanks, Rach. You'll have to try them. They are so good. They're too hot to eat now, but you can just see they're so light. Look how squidgy they are. Will this video be saved? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. Last time I did live with Priya, I couldn't get it back. So hopefully, because it'll be quite good to watch. Otherwise, I've done a little IGTV video that I will share tomorrow. And then I'll share the recipe on there again. Dragon Cheese will probably share it on their website or on their stories as well. So I'll try my best to save this in my highlights. And the IGTV tomorrow, I'll post the recipe just so you can see. Rosie's waiting. Bless her. She couldn't eat these because there's onions in them. But she'd give it a good go. Great, diolch. Thank you. I'll give it a go. So, I'm just going to check the time. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that I have got enough time to save this because I know that it cuts off after an hour. Hi, Kath. They look yummy. I'll have to bring you some when we can visit. thank you so much for everyone that tuned in and watched, and just give them a go. And then remember to, I know I'm going to say it again, but hashtag the big cheese, because I would love it if one of my followers would win 1 or 2 of the KitchenAids. It'd be great. Okay, I'm going to leave you be. Thank you everyone for your lovely messages and for watching. Do you grease your muffin liners before baking? No, just put them in like that. This is what I use even to do normal muffins, sweet muffins, anything. Silo, amser bwyd nawr. Hwyl. Diolch. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to leave you be. Take care. See you again.